Staff Sergeant Joseph. I'm with 51 Charlie. I'm here conducting an interview with one of our esteemed contracting professionals. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at JoJo Serious, and go ahead and hit the like button so you can get more content, and turn on the notifications so you can get more content. All right, so we're gonna hop right into it. Go ahead and tell us about yourself.
All right, so I'm first class Tiana Proctor from Brooklyn, New York. Been in the Army for 16 years, about to be 17 in August. I'm currently stationed at Fort Liberty, North Carolina, and right now organic to the 408th Contracting Support Brigade in support of OIR.
Okay. How did you hear about 51 Charlie?
So I heard about 51 Charlie when I was in ALC. One of the instructors came into the class and kind of, was speaking about different MOSs that kind of related to logistics. 51 Charlie was like the main one that caught my interest. So after class, I pulled them aside and they kind of went over the requirements and, provided me with some information to go back and do my research. And then in 2016, I submitted my packet, got picked up, been assigned to 3 contracting assignments, 2 right now deployments, and been in 8 years later.
So you said you are here supporting the 408 out in Iraq. So can you tell us a little bit what you and your team do?
Yeah, so in Iraq, we support the southern area, and we provide supplies, services, and construction. Most of our requirements comes from the construction side, and also NTBs, and not a lot of supplies, but we have some supplies there. But I guess the critical ones for our services is the base life support that's provided for the warfighters that's on the actual installation, dealing with water, medical supplies, things that they need on a daily basis. So, yeah.
Okay, so you do a little bit of supplies, services, and construction.
Yes.
Awesome, that's good to know.
But what right now, our hot commodities was force protection due to the rise after October 7th. Force protection was one of the top priorities for the commander of 408th and the CG of CENTCOM. However, it kind of died down a little bit, so right now we got a lot of construction contracts that we're working on.
Talk to us about how your career has led you to this point and how it may be preparing you for life after service.
As a 51 Charlie, coming into 51 Charlie, like I said, I was logistics, so I was like warehouse 92 outfit, dealing with like warehouse, basic like on the ground direct stuff with supplies, and then transitioning into this MOS, it was more so of you're getting to see the logistical realm from a different lens. So now you're more looking at strategic stuff. Now you're the one that's actually getting to see the fruit of your labor with contracts. So how I transitioned into this, it was a learning curve, being able to be quick on your feet, decisions, managing your own workload, being innovative, reading, a lot of research with it. So it was different from just being in the warehouse or sitting behind a computer at the motor pool or something like that. So, but yeah, and how it helped me. That's what you said. How does MOS help me? Well, it definitely boosted up my confidence as a contracting officer. You have to have the confidence, right? Because everyone's looking for you for answers, looking for you to make that decision, obligating the government and being able to provide, advice to stakeholders, and everyone's looking for you for that guidance. So it definitely boosted my confidence up a lot, and it definitely pushed me to like research. Like you gotta research. Researching is a big part of 51 Charlie. So if you don't like to read, it's not gonna be that worse for you, because you're gonna feel like you're in school every day. Like when you're in class, when you're at work, you're constantly looking at the FAR, Federal Acquisition Regulation. You constantly like doing market research. I mean, you constantly picking your brain and other people's brains as well. So
you mentioned you needed the confidence to be a business advisor. How would that help you with your transition after you retire from the military?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, it would definitely help because once you retire from the military, I mean, it's easy for you to transition into interviews. I mean, a lot of people that's in the military sometimes it's harder for them to transfer into civilian life, right? When it comes to interviews, you hear a lot of military individuals bombing the interviews and stuff like that, because they was more so like military side, But with 51 Charlie, you're dealing with civilians, and like I said, with the confidence. So I think it will be easy for me to transition. Definitely having a technical experience and being able to speak it, right? Speak it to people. Being able to speak it, being able to understand what you're talking about. And the warrants is big too, having a warrant. So, utilizing your warrant here and, moving up with your warrant level will definitely also help.
Okay, and I'm glad you brought that up. The term warrant, we've heard it before in the military. It can have different terms associated with it. If you can just elaborate on that for the viewers on YouTube that want to get into the MOS and don't know what it means.
Yeah, so your warrant, when you get your warrant, you become a contracting officer, and what that is you have an authority from the commander, which is your senior contracting official, that appoints you to obligate the government. So we have specialists that are that's behind the scenes, preparing the contract, preparing the documentation based on threshold or legal reviews and things of that nature, and policy reviews that go with the requirement. And then you have the contracting officer like myself that reviews it, make sure everything's good to go. If it deals with negotiating with vendors and things of that nature, and then I'm the one that signs the contract and obligates the government. So I'm the only one. The contracting officer are the only ones that can obligate the government. And your warrant, based on your warrant level, that your warrant allows you to obligate based on how much you've been appointed. So for me, my warrant level is 6.5 million. So I can only obligate up to 6.5 million. So I can't go over that. Now, if I want to have an increase in my warrant, you can go to something called Contracting Officer Review Board. You do your warrant test, and you can increase your warrant level. So
awesome, that's great information. So I do want to thank you for providing us with this information. As we spoke and got to know each other, I've only been doing this for almost a year come September. So it's brand new to me. I'm just trying to get the information out there for those of us seeking it, and just help the audience gather more about the MOS.
For sure.
Do you have anything else you want to share with?
In contracting 51 Charlie, it's a different, like I said, it's a different part of logistics. Like I said, you are the business advisor, on behalf of the government, right? We are obligating the government, and just with this MOS, I mean, you're going to have fun. Sometimes it's going to be a little stressful, challenging, but I would tell you that coming into this MOS, to utilize the individuals around you, especially civilians. Civilians, they are the continuity within 51 Charlie. So leaning on those civilians to, to help you through understanding, different parts of the acquisition life cycle when it comes to contracting, looking in the organization's acquisition instructions to see how they operate contracting, because everywhere you go, contracting is operated a little differently, right? Like out here, the CENTCOM area is different, the PAYCOM area is different, CONUS is different. So this reading up on, the policies, the regulation, and utilizing the channels on social media too, like those 51 Charlie channels. And then this networking is a big thing at 51 Charlie. And what I would tell individuals that's in already and that's looking to become a contracting officer, because that's what we're all going to be doing. After a year you've been in, you take your back to basic exam. Your goal is to be a contracting officer. Just not just get your warrant and just, hey, specialist, you do this, you this. You become that mentor, right? So with your specialist, you want to be able to have dialogue, because you're mentoring that specialist. Even though you're not saying, hey, I'm going to mentor you, you're still mentoring them, because you're allowing them to have that dialogue, have that feedback, sit around the table, because everyone's input when it comes to contracting is important. Of course, you have that contracting officer it's up to them which route they're going to take, but for me as a contracting officer, I don't just task my specialists, right? I challenge them to go out, come to me, with solutions. How are you going to tackle the problem? Why do you look at something different than what I'm looking at? Is it something that I'm not seeing that you're seeing? Is it something that you're seeing and I'm not seeing? So at the end of the day, what all matters is all of us coming together and we're getting what we need to get to the warfighter. That's the main thing. So building those relationships with stakeholders, everyone in the office is important, and outside the office as well.
Awesome. Again, thank you for sharing that, and thank you for taking the time to educate us on what it's like to be in contracting.
No, I appreciate you having me on. It's my first time, so hopefully I didn't mess it up. But yeah, I'm still learning too. So every day is a learning process for me. I'm learning something new every single day. So hopefully by the time I hit the civilian world, I'll be able to become that expertise.
That's the goal.
Just like that's the goal. That's the goal.
All right. Well, that's all we have for this episode, everyone. I want to thank Sergeant First Class Proctor for spending time educating us about what it takes to be a contracting professional in the United States Army. So with that, again, please go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel for more content, and I'll see you on the next one.
All right, thanks. Peace.